yes, we made a lot of progress, but like when you're on, I have the staff print out the lyrics to yours. I listen to the record.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
But then I also want to read because I can't understand what any musician, not just, I don't understand the Bee Gees. Yeah. Really, I mean, I still don't know what the lyrics to Honky Tonk Women are. I met her and then I'm lost.
I don't feel so bad now.
But I want to read it. Okay. Because there's so much slang. And references, right?
Rappers, man, our grand dilemma is for people who are considered dangerous and illiterate, we sure have to have a mastery of words. Like,
that's what I'm trying to say to you. You're speaking two languages,
T.I. is especially great with words, not just the rap words. Like I just hung up from our high school principal whose 70-something's birthday today. Shouts out to Dr. Hill. But Tip sounds like Dr. Hill to me. When I close my eyes, like, enthusiastically and porically, like you just hear these words like, fuck, you were selling cocaine. How did you learn these words as a crack dealer?
Just the sheer volume. If you print out a pop song, anything before
16
rap,
words, the whole song.
I mean, it feels like half a page. And very often I've heard the Beatles talk about this and say, if we couldn't think of a third verse, we would just repeat the first one. Yeah. Like you can't, like they came up with like 8 lines and they were fucking totally cooked on that. And so they just, and we don't care. But rap, it's like it would be, each song's like 2 pages.
It's getting shorter though, but yeah, you're right.
Like fully typed and like lots and lots of verses and they're all clever and, it's not really comparable. I mean, there are great, of course, pop lyrics. Paul Simon is a great lyricist and Dylan and sometimes Lennon, McCartney, but not like really. Some of them, there's a few people on that kind of level where you could almost read it as poetry.
Yeah, absolutely.
But your stuff, you could always read as poetry.
Yeah, it's kind of, because, rap is it's a weird little hybrid. It's kids who weren't necessarily been given the best opportunity from an educational standpoint, but because you had these fringe groups that were, you had like the Last Poets and Gil Scott, you had out of jazz, the scat and the bebop, you had storied tales of people like Stagger Lee from the early 1900s. So if you look at Muddy Waters, Reefer and Champagne, that song, it sets up for what would later become rap lyrics. Because in the blues, you're just kind of testifying how crazy and fucked up my life and heart is. I think rap kind of did that.
And James Brown, isn't that a kind of a bridge?
I think one of the most sampled, he used to be the most sampled artist in terms of taking his the break beats, the music that would play in between the verses and stuff, to give him a break. Would take those, man. Those have created Public Enemies, the cornerstone. What Funkadelic did, and the West Coast kind of teetering their sound on that it's been made. Curtis Mayfield Curtis Mayfield's my favorite. My mom had me when she was 16 years old, and she got married to my non-bio dad. So I got 2 dads. I'm lucky. She got me 2 great guys as dads. Wow. When she got married, when she was 19 and moved out, my grandmother was just like, go learn how to be somebody's wife. You don't worry about him. We're gonna, her and my grandpa, we're gonna raise him. And my mom left me these records. So I'm a young kid, but I get to play Curtis Mayfield. And Mayfield's lyrics, the music, the stories all pull me in. And to the point where I start to get like one to rap over the stuff. And you got artists that came out of the South like A-Ball, MJG, and Outkast that use that sound. So rap to me is a progression of wailing from the church, of blues from the juke joints, of jazz and the speakeasies. We are a culmination of that and the Caribbean art of DJing and party throwing that Cool Herc kind of brought over. And then it got to the South and just became this hybrid with the music we already like.
So Curtis Mayfield.
Yes.
I think I have a few of his. Is that Pusher Man?
That's Pusher Man. That's Superfly soundtrack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That, I can, now that you mention it, I wouldn't have known it. But I mean, I've had that in my, I use the old iPod.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
Thick one?
With the circle.
Yeah.
And I will maintain until I die. It's what?
So what do you use it for? Paperweight? It still works? Like,
you have to get them on eBay. Really? But you can do things on them you can't do. Just controlling, it's like, I want my record.